The second session of Book 1 of the Tattersalls October Yearling sales saw the momentum gained on day one hit top flight, with 3 lots reaching over the million guineas mark and record increases across the board. John Ferguson picked up where he left off on day one, ending the session as leading buyer again, spending an aggregate of over £12 million on behalf of Sheikh Mohammed. His haul included the sale's top lot so far and world's highest price yearling this year, a colt by Darley stallion Shamadal out of top race mare Cassandra Go, who was knocked down for 1.7 million guineas.
John Ferguson, thank you very much indeed.
The colt was consigned by Ballyhimmakin stud on behalf of the mare's owner, Trevor Stewart.
Very nice colt, looked really good, great mover. Obviously, that sort of price I didn't expect, but there was an awful lot going for him on the day.
And you must be pleased with John Ferguson purchasing the horse.
Absolutely delighted. I mean, they've been a wonderful supporter of the family, and they bought Outlaw Country last year for 500,000 out of the daughter of Cassandra Go, and he looks very exciting. So it's wonderful that they're rewarded when they've spent the money with the horses coming up trumps as well.
It was Darley stallion stock who continued to dominate at the top of the sale, with lot 245, a colt by Dubawi out of Group 1 winner Crystal Music, also breaking the £1 million mark. Seeing off stiff competition from underbidders John Warren and Charlie Gordon-Watson, the Watership Down stud consigned colt was eventually secured by John Ferguson for 1.6 million guineas. Dubawi was also responsible for the third of the £1 million lots after a colt out of Comic, a half-brother to Hong Kong champion Viva Pitaka, sold for 1.4 million guineas to John Ferguson. The colt was offered by Floors Stud, who were also the consigners of the session-topping Oasis Dream colt on the opening day. They hit the headlines for the second time on day 2 when their eagerly anticipated lot 297 was led into the ring. A colt by the champion sire Galileo out of Flirtation, also the dam of classic winner Attraction, quickly proved popular, eventually being sold to John Magnier for 750,000 guineas, much to the delight of the Duke of Roxburgh, whose stud ended the session as the leading consigner by average price.
I knew we had a lovely group, and I said so from the beginning. I had the best crop that I was ever going to have, that I ever have had, probably ever going likely to have. And I knew they were really, really nice horses, so I was hoping that they were going to sell well, but what you hope for and what you get isn't always the same thing.
The China Horse Club also made their presence felt at the very highest level for the second consecutive year. They secured lot 170, a colt by Galileo from the Clare Castle stud draft for 875,000 guineas, and their agent Michael Wallace was understandably delighted.
The Galileo, we obviously have a vested interest and ownership in Australia. We saw great similarities with him, so I'd like to see the stars Galileo, sharing the family. It's such a great stallion, and he was another one I'd like to acquire. Just a lovely balanced athletic horse, very smooth, a great way of movement in him.
John Ferguson's support of the Darley stallions saw a third entry in the sale's top 5 lots so far for Dubawi, the sire of lot 259. The colt, consigned by Meon Valley Stud, was sold to Sheikh Mohammed's bloodstock advisor for 800,000 guineas. In addition to the year's highest price yearling in the world so far, at the conclusion of day 2, Tattersalls achieved European records in the turnover, average and median prices reached.